The Faust Street Bridge, Iron, River, and the Ghosts of New Braunfels. Welcome back. Make sure you remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. If you've ever stood on the Faust Street Bridge in New Braunfels, Texas, and listened closely, you might swear the bridge is talking back to you. Not out loud, of course, not unless the Guadalupe River has finally learned English, but in creaks, groans, and the low metallic hum that only old iron knows how to make. This bridge has been standing here since 1887, and in Texas years, that's ancient. That makes it older than most towns, older than most legends, and definitely older than common-sense traffic decisions. Before there was a bridge here, there was just the river. And before there was a river crossing, there were the Tonkawa and Comanche peoples, who knew this stretch of the Guadalupe long before anyone thought to throw iron across it. They crossed here because rivers choose their crossings carefully. Shallow spots, stable banks, places that feel right. Later, German settlers would follow those same instincts, whether they realized it or not. New Braunfels itself was founded in 1845, when Prince Karl of Solms-Braunfels decided Texas needed more Germans and fewer mosquitoes. He was wrong about the mosquitoes, deeply wrong, but the town stuck. The Guadalupe River became the lifeline. Water, trade, transportation, and occasionally a reason for people to lose wagons, shoes, or dignity during floods. By the 1880s, New Braunfels had grown enough that crossing the river by ferry or shallow ford just wasn't cutting it anymore. Commerce demanded something sturdier. Farmers needed access. Merchants wanted customers, and people were tired of arriving home with wet pants. So the city ordered a wrought iron truss bridge, manufactured by the King Iron Bridge Company of Cleveland, Ohio, a company that specialized in building bridges that looked delicate but could survive both floods and Texas drivers. When the Faust Street Bridge was assembled, it was a marvel. Iron arches, latticework sides, and a deck built to handle wagons, horses, and later automobiles that looked like rolling lawn furniture. The bridge didn't just connect two sides of the river, it connected eras. Early on, the bridge became a stage for daily life. Farm wagons rattled across it. Children leaned over the railings to watch the water. Teenagers carved their initials into places their parents would never look. And yes, couples walked across it holding hands, because nothing says romance like iron bolts and the faint smell of river mud. Floods came. The Guadalupe has never been subtle about its power, and it tested the bridge more than once. Water rose, debris slammed into the piers, trees tried to redecorate the ironwork. The Faust Street Bridge held. Every time. which is probably why locals began to trust it, and then, like all trusted things, take it completely for granted. By the early 1900s, automobiles arrived. Tiny engines, questionable brakes, and drivers who had never agreed on which side of the road made sense. The bridge adapted. Barely. If you've ever driven across it, you know the feeling. Narrow lanes, iron rails inches from your mirrors, and the sudden realization that modern vehicles were not what 19th century engineers had in mind. It's less a drive and more a negotiation. By the mid-20th century, the bridge was officially retired from heavy traffic. Newer, wider bridges took over, and the Faust Street Bridge became something else entirely, a survivor. Rather than tearing it down, New Braunfels did something rare. They preserved it, and in doing so, they preserved 100 years of stories. Locals will tell you the bridge has a personality. It's patient, it's stubborn, and it absolutely judges your parking skills if you stop nearby. Some say you can hear footsteps late at night, echoes of people long gone, crossing for reasons that mattered deeply at the time but are now lost to history. Others say that's just the wind and your imagination, which is exactly what ghosts would want you to think. The bridge has seen wars begin and end. It stood during the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II. It watched soldiers leave town and sometimes not come back. It saw the rise of tubing culture, a development no German engineer in 1887 could have predicted or emotionally prepared for. Today, the Faust Street Bridge is part of the Guadalupe River Rail Trail, serving walkers, joggers, cyclists, photographers, and anyone who just wants to stand in the middle and stare at moving water like humans have always done. It's one of the most photographed spots in New Braunfels, especially at sunset, when the iron turns gold and the river slows just enough to look peaceful, even if it's planning something later. The Faust Street Bridge doesn't try to impress anyone. It doesn't light up. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't care about trends. It just stands there, iron bones exposed, doing what it has always done, holding fast while everything else changes. And maybe that's why people love it. In a town that's grown fast, changed fast, and reinvented itself more than once, the bridge remains stubbornly itself. It's not perfect, it's not wide, it's not quiet, but it's honest. So the next time you walk across the Faust Street Bridge, take your time, listen to the river, touch the iron, laugh at the fact that something built in the 1800s is still standing while newer things fall apart. Because bridges like this don't just carry people, they carry memory. And if you enjoyed walking through history with me today, do the bridge a favor. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more stories where the past refuses to stay quiet. Because in Texas, even the bridges have something to say.